Money's been the motive since forever. Who am I to change it? Lames and fuck boys I don't bang with. Them all is who I hang with. And you little niggas just starting to scratch the surface, but your steel ain't stainless. I'm known to rap, but more known for moving sand like beaches. But me on your track, that's a good look like cleavage. I'm laughing on the court, you niggas bitching in the bleachers. Bunch of know-it-alls that don't know shit like my high school teachers. And to these older chicks, use a fluke to them. And they say I'm cute to them. And they see the watch, the LVs, and all of my accoutrements. I don't walk barefoot, so it's polo footies. I love the best of things, so it's cashmere hoodies. I want my diamonds black like Kunto, pink like pussy. I'm the truth and everybody knows like boogies. Kenny Corleone, West Baltimore, Maryland. Artist, musician, rapper. Where I come from as far as music, like I always did my homework and my book approach on the kids. As far as like when I say the races like Rakim and Gangsta, Guru, all those guys, you know what I mean? And me growing up, as far as like the music that I was brought up with, and that just made me just want to do it.
So would you say those are your influences, your inspirations?
Yeah.
Can you name a couple more that inspire music?
Like you got Jay, Wayne, Guys Effects, EPMD, from everybody from the early 80s to now. And I get inspired.
So what makes you different from artists coming from Baltimore? What makes your sound different? What makes you different as a rapper?
What makes me different? Basically, I mean, I know a few artists from on a first name basis, and a lot of people, all I hear is kind of money. I'm doing this because I want money. I'm not doing this for the free. I'm doing this because I love it. You know what I mean? I started out as a young and writing poetry. So at the end of the day, like, I mean, if I end up doing this when I'm 30 or 40 years old, if I don't, I mean, I'm still going to be doing it down.
Do you think that passion translates in the type of music that you make?
Yeah.
So why don't you talk about Return of God Fisher? Tell me about that album, a little bit about the process of making it also.
The process of making it took like a year and a half. I mean, me write my verses together for it probably took me like a month. But as far as me critiquing and getting everything down to a science, it was like a year and a half. And the guy, I mean, I don't know if anybody really know who God Fisher is, but he was a legend in his own right. The guy that was getting a lot of money and really just cared about his family and the guys that he had around, a loyal guy or whatever. So when I seen his documentary, and I always been kind of real big on documentaries, that just made me want to basically do a whole soundtrack towards what he had going on.
But why him though? Why him?
I mean, because he's a stand-up guy. A lot of dudes that really has these documentaries, they're not stand-up guys. You feel me? Like their documentaries is not kind of strong all the way through. It's kind of strong at the beginning, but they fall at the end, and by them falling at the end, they snitch. They wasn't loyal as everybody thought they was. Shit like that. By him, like, you know what I mean? By him being a kind of strong of an OG, kind of kept together. And I just wanted to do it like that.
Did you somehow relate to that?
Yeah. The music, I mean, because of me, I always kept it one way all the time. You know what I mean? I always been a loyal guy. Anybody that knows me knows I always kept it around. So, and that's kind of how I took to it. You know what I mean?
So why don't you tell me a little bit about the sound of the album? Like when I was listening to it, I noticed that it almost didn't sound like it was even from this time period.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, from behind it, it's kind of like Curtis Mayfield, Bobby Womack, Teddy Pendergrass. I mean, it's kind of all them guys put in the room. That's the soundtrack. That's why I call it Return of God Fisher, aka the Blow Tape. Because if anybody kind of know anything about the 70s, the drug of choice was smack, which is blow, or whatever. So, I mean, that comes with the samples and everything like that.
So are all the samples like music from the 70s?
Yeah. 70s, late 80s, early 90s. Stuff like that.
So when is it coming out?
May 31st.
May 31st. It's right around the corner. How are you preparing for that release?
Yeah, it's different. It's different. I mean, it's my first official release, so it's definitely different. I'm preparing, just grinding, getting everything together.
Nervous, excited, happy.
Kind of. I mean, it's like basically everything that you said all in one. You know, basically, I just want to get my point across, get my story across, everything.
So, what's your favorite track on the album?
I mean, can I say the whole thing, or you just want one?
Tell me your top three favorites. Top three.
Top
Pick
three favorites. Money and Power. That's number 2. No Hook. That's the last song on there, and probably Greatness. That's the second to last song on there, featuring Miss Natalie Hill.
Okay. Why those three? How about you talk about them a little bit so we can get an understanding of why?
Money and Power. The whole setup, the whole Little Child Running Wild is. Shout out to Jay Fed, he that produced it. And you can use the whole Little Child Running Wild Curtis Mayfield sample, and it just came together like that. And basically, when I was just writing, it just felt good when I was writing. Like everything was just coming together. That's why I kind of like that one. And it's kind of telling the story too. I say No Hook because No Hook kind of put a lot of shit in perspective. A lot of dudes, me coming up, a lot of people that I thought I would be around forever is not around now because of me seeing their true colors and the type of people that they are. So that just kind of, you know what I mean, took a lot of pressure off me and, you know what I mean, let a lot of that out. Greatness is kind of the same thing, but it kind of shows my, you know what I mean, my level at this shit as far as this rap shit is concerned. You know what I mean? That's, you know, I love that. And the girl, Miss Natalie Hill, her vocals on top of everything just makes it come all together.
So what other local rappers in the city coming up, kind of doing the same thing that you're doing, do you respect and acknowledge?
Anybody know me, know my brother. C-No, we got that similar thing going on. Shorty killing him right now. But it starts with a slick dude, I'm sure you get that. It's a few, you know what I mean? Me personally, every time somebody comes out with something new from me, I always check it out just to keep it to the streets and see what's going on. But if I can say right now, G-Rock, of course, Shorty, he's doing alright. He came through and blessed one of my brother tracks on this mixtape, this shit called Yellow Diamonds, all three of us on there. Love, J Love, shout out to Love, you know what I mean? Him, he cool. Smack. Dude Smack got the whole X-rated thing. He featured on Return of God Fishing too. Me and him, I knew him since we was young and chasing the hoop dream together. So it was only right for us to embrace each other as far as, you know, the rap shit is concerned. But it's a few. Some people get more play than others, but.
What doors do you see this album opening for you? Where are your ambitions with this?
Just basically solidify my spot. I'm here to stay. I ain't going anywhere. You know what I mean? I ain't going nowhere. And from the little bit of things I've been putting out and how people been taking to it, it's been a blessing, man. You know what I mean? It's been, I don't have no complaints.
What in your life has made this album so personal to you and really, really reflected the stories that you tell? Because it's a lot about stories in all the songs.
Basically, for me, kind of making my own way, in a sense. You know what I mean? I was kind of built on that, you know, making my own way, not really having to ask nobody for nothing. You know what I mean? Whatever I say is what goes, or whatever. So, and that kinds of roll over into my music. You know what I'm saying? Like I always say, I tell everybody, man, I'm blessed to know how to rap or whatever. Because if I didn't know how to do this, guarantee I probably would be laying in somebody's graveyard or laying in somebody's prison. Because by me doing this, it takes like a lot of frustration and shit like that I have towards a lot of things. It just releases everything like that. You know what I mean? Like I always say, like the studio is kind of like my sanctuary. That's where I go to vent. You know, some people go to church, some people do this, but that's where I go to vent. You know what I mean? I can call my engineer 1, 2 in the morning. Yo, I gotta hurry up and get in. Come on down. I come in, get 5, 6 songs done, and I feel 1,000 times better than when I first went in there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? I think a lot of people don't know how to do this. That's why so much crazy shit going on. A lot of people don't know how to do this, so they do that. You know what I'm saying? So, like I say, I don't have no complaints, man. So,
okay, so tell us a little bit about growing up in Baltimore City.
Yeah. I kind of got the best of both worlds. You know what I mean? Like I say, both parents in my household, they worked hard every day. try their hardest to raise their kids the best way they knew how.
Got your girl pumping my shit like a
That's what it
promoter,
was,
like
man. I always kind of had, while my parents was doing this, I kind of always had other family that was into this and that. So I kind of always had one foot in and one foot out.
Okay.
You can say that.
So where do you think you stand now?
I mean, I'm blessed. I mean, I've learned a lot. I've been through a few things. You know what I mean? And by me, I guess, going through what I've been through, it's made me the man I am today.
And what kind of man is that? Like
Stand-up guy.
stand-up guy.
Stand-up guy.
What does that look like in Baltimore City? I don't know what
Right,
that looks like in Baltimore.
Exactly.
Right.
I live where all the deers and the cows at. But I used to hustle where all the smizzle and the loud at. Moses where I chow at. It's like these niggas get to hating when your name hold weight like a towel rack. You niggas rats in the trap chasing cheese. Hold 12 Percy Miller master when it come to peas. No limit when it come to hammers. And I think me and Drake got the same thoughts and views when it come to cameras. I try to give my heart away, but these bitches, they rejected it. Cause I guess with my heart, they was cool, but just my dick, they felt better with. And that turned me to a monster. Now you know how I get down. Fucking them high privileged hoes to the bad hood bitches from in town. I think me rapping got everybody wanting to spit now. Cause lately I just been beating beats like Chris Brown.